What's up, guys? I've got another Ultra League video for you guys today. This time in Open Ultra instead of Ultra Premier, hiding from all those XLs in Ultra Open. Instead, I actually quite like Ultra Open. I would love to have this league normalized, but the queue times are horrendous at higher ratings. So, anyways, here's the video. Huge shout out to my Patreon supporters. Could not be doing this without you guys. But yeah, let's get into it. I'll try something a bit different this time. I'll talk about the team as we go through this first battle. So team is Giratina Altered, Empoleon, and Venusaur, and it's a balanced team. It's not ABB. In this case, we have a good lead, so obviously we're going to stay in and just farm up. So ideally, what happens is you win the lead, right? And you'll then, when they switch, now switch to your counter for their Pokemon. If you lose lead, this team is a bit tricky. We don't have a real safe switch, so a lot of times I'm going into the Pokemon that's less bad against their lead. In the case of a fairy lead, I'm usually going into Empoleon. Empoleon just has less hard counters. There's less fighters in the open meta. But really, you can kind of swap into either of them. The only things you're really swapping out of the lead, though, are Charmers and then perhaps Cresselia and the Steel types as well. So it's a bit of a tough situation if they win the lead and you get hard counter, but you can still wiggle out of those situations. Venusaur has some really strong matchups in the back, same with Empoleon, and for some reason they do swap into the best counters for Venusaur sometimes when you bring in your Empoleon too. Or there's something Empoleon can win switch back versus, right? So in this case, they hard switch their Venusaur back in. I'm going to take advantage of this with my Giratina. My Venusaur still has quite a bit of energy. I don't want them to get to another move, so we're just going to throw this Dragon Claw, see what they come back with. And it's going to be a Machamp, so this is the reason why they were kind of sticking in with their Venusaur so long, trying to take down my Giratina, because this Machamp doesn't really have too much play. So in this case, they're going to blow shields. I switched to throw a Frenzy Plant now that their shield's down, and somehow they managed to catch this as well. So a fantastic read by my opponent. That's absolutely crazy. No one ever catches right away, right? Like, they always throw one move and then catch. In this case, Empoleon still has it in tough, but I do have a shield, so it is all just about sneaking that one last waterfall through and just making sure they don't get to 2 cross shots. So we're gonna win that first game. Hopefully you guys understand how to play team fully after seeing this one game. I'm just kidding. I'll go into a couple more games. Oh, very close call. Nobody got to see that though. I have a Cresselia lead, so let's see what happens here. I think I attempt to catch a Moonblast in most of these. Throw the Shadow Sneak first. See what they want to do. Yeah, the thing is, with this backline, you do kind of have to stay in. Dragon Breath Giratina doesn't really beat Cresselia. I straight up lied. It looks like we're staying in. So, pop a shield. See if they want to shield up the Shadow Sneak or switch, and they switch to Poliwrath. So I swap a little bit slow here. These Ice Punches, they hurt, and it's really nice if you can outpace this Venusaur. But having that little bit of extra energy in Giratina is nice as well. But this was one of my first matches with the team. Gonna be a little bit slow on those switches while you're in the matchups, that's for sure. So fortunately, I have to take 2 Ice Punches before I even get to throw out a Frenzy Plant. They do have a shield advantage as well. And at this point, I have to make the tough decision to let Venusaur go down here. So Venusaur absorbed 3 Ice Punches, grabbed a shield. That's not too bad. Now Giratina is tasked with taking this thing down. Obviously, Empoleon is not very good against Poliwrath. I'm just going to blow my energy that I had earlier to take down this Poliwrath, and they can come in with anything they want now. So they're going to come in with Cresselia. I'm just going to try and switch to my Empoleon to catch a move. That energy on Giratina might be important later. Sorry, these battles they took place a little while ago. I want to say a couple days. Very hard for me to remember exactly what happened in all of these games. But in comes Swampert, and this is what you would love to have Venusaur for. But luckily, my Empoleon has quite a bit of farm. Gonna be able to land a Hydro Cannon for sure, unless I let my Empoleon go down. And then really, I'm only in a little bit of trouble if they're able to farm me down before I am. But otherwise, my Giratina has a move, so we're going to be able to swap to that and snipe them out with no shields down. And this is a play they'll get to try to make a lot with this team. And at this point, Giratina is going to tank a Hydro Cannon, still live, be able to take down the Swampert, and then be able to take down the Cresselia. Because the Cresselia is extremely low at this point. Yeah, just an example of how that team works. You stay with the Giratina until they either lose lead or they switch out, and you get switch advantage, and then just keep going. So we lose the lead here. This is one of those that's just not winnable. And what is important versus some of these leads is switching out before they realize what fast move you have. But for example, if you're going to switch out versus Cress, it's important to do that before they realize the Shadow Claw. Same with Seals. If you do that before Shadow Claw, for sure too. It's less important versus the Fairy types, but hiding that fast move, hiding what fast move you have is pretty important because it flips a lot of matchups, right? So maybe they're saving their Muck to counter you. They're Alolan Muck, but guess what? Dragon Breath Giratina doesn't really care. Same with Obstagoon. They could be saving Obstagoon, but Dragon Breath Giratina doesn't really care. In this case, Venusaur is definitely the better option versus Gyarados, but we're gonna come back in with the Giratina because the Giratina is locked in against this Clefable afterwards. There's no point. There's no point shielding. I'm going to switch into Venusaur to get that little bit of extra energy lead at the cost of no health. And we're going to throw with the great timing so they don't get charms through. Throw a Sludge Bomb. And they're going to no shield. So wonder what it is in the back if they're coming back into Clefable. It's likely a Swampert or something like that if Venusaur has this much play. But look how badly Venusaur beats these Charmers. It could have been a Swampert. It could have been another Charmer. Like I've seen ABA with Charmer, Giratina, Charmer around a decent amount, which I think is a really weird team. Okay, so I got sniped by one of my viewers running a Great League team, I guess as a joke. So while we are watching this extremely long game, I promise not to cut it out for them. Let's talk about why maybe I haven't uploaded too many videos recently. The last upload I had was an Ultra Premier near the beginning of the week. The big issue here has been lag and stringing together sets of games because you guys know I only string together sets of games that are consecutive for the most part, unless there's lag. And the problem is every set I've been playing, or at least on the last Friday and the Thursday before that, every set I've been playing has had some pretty bad lag. And I know a lot of other people have been having these issues too. Right, lag has just been getting worse and worse and worse and worse. So, I don't know. I really think Niantic needs to figure out what is going on with a lot of this lag stuff, because I think it's kind of unacceptable for it to be getting worse and worse in a... How old is this game? The PvP aspect of this game, we're like a year and a bit in, and it's getting worse. So, hopefully... They did talk about literally today that they found maybe a fix for the fast move inconsistency stuff, but remains to be seen. They said they found a fix. They didn't say they implemented a fix, so we'll see. But a lot of questionable things going on. In this case, with this team against Obstagoon, we do stay in because Giratina Altered with Dragon Breath wins the one shield versus Obstagoon. So we're just going to be able to do some heavy damage, not shield the first one or the second one. We'll shield the third Night Slash just in case they get the boost, right? So, I'm going to throw the Night Slash here. Boosts? No, no boost. Doesn't matter though, because we're going to shield the next one anyways. And in the zero shield, you lose. But if you spend one shield, it's that fast move pressure that really allows Giratina to be able to win this scenario. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to force that shield out of them, but I will be able to exit this matchup with enough energy for Dragon Claw, which I would much rather have the shield, of course. But it is what it is. They're going to come with a Caesar. This is Fury Cutter Caesar, by the way. So... we're gonna stay in. If it was Bullet Punch, maybe I would try and switch to avoid the farm, but at that point, can't really switch either, right? Venusaur is so terrible against Caesar. You just stay in and ride out that winning lead. You spend a shield, that's fine. But Empoleon, pretty good against Caesar. Should be able to farm down, and there we go. We have that Swampert in the back too. So this is how a lot of these games goes. You fight for Switch with Giratina. Most people give up Switch, and then you come in with Venusaur on their Swampert and it's game over. Like, they Earthquake me? Sure. It's fine. I actually make a really big mistake here by taking out their Swampert that early instead of getting a little bit lower first. And now the Caesar is going to get an absolute ton of farm. But luckily my Venusaur is going to be able to make it to another Frenzy Plant. And these Frenzy Plants, they're double resisted, but they hurt. So you can't just no shield that. So I was actually that much HP away from them actually being able to maybe beat me there. So well played by them to let their Swampert go down and save 2 shields for Caesar, but had too big of an advantage there. That's a 5-0. Actually, no, let's not lie. That's a scuffed 5-0. That's a 4-0. We're not gonna count the win against the Great League team because that's just BS. I'm just glad I had a little bit of time for a PSA. Hopefully lag is a bit better. It's been doing a little bit better for me recently. So we have that Togekiss counter swap or lead. We're gonna swap in Empoleon. They stand for quite a while before coming in with Cress. So I think they're trying to weaken my Empoleon and they're gonna try and keep switch. At this point, if Cress is your best Empoleon counter, I can see it. I want switch advantage, and I'm gonna try and take it as hard as I possibly can. I know nothing KOs Empoleon from this range, so I'm not gonna shield the first one. Of course, if they throw the second move, I will. But at this time, I'm already in my next Hydro Cannon, so we'll see if they want a shield to force me to shield. And like I said, that's perfectly fine. We're gonna match shields. Empoleon, pretty good against this Crest. They actually go for the future set on that one, which gives me the opportunity to farm them all the way down. Them using all their energy. So in comes Swampert. Always a Swampert in the back, and that's why we have Venusaur now. I think the problem was releasing the Talonflame Goon video and Amok. People saw how good Swampert was, and now Swampert's on every team. So now we have Venusaur in the back, we have Empoleon on the back. It's okay against Swampert, and we have Giratina in the lead. So this is an anti-Swampert team. This is, you hate Swampert, you're gonna run this team. Obviously, they're gonna come back in with a Togekiss. I do have a shield remaining. I don't even need to spend the shield, I don't think, because I don't think Flamethrower even KOs, but they do end up baiting me. I'm gonna farm up a bit more. I think this is all I need. Throw a Sludge Bomb. And then it's a Swampert, right? So this thing's gonna just completely melt to the Venusaur. Yeah. You love to see it. You love to see that Swampert go down. I know I just released a Swampert video, so it's looking pretty hypocritical for me right now, but I have a short memory as well. So we're just gonna forget that I also released a Swampert video. Anyways, back to this team. Clefable lead again. So I was playing this team with Empoleon in the lead before, and not Venusaur, with a different Pokemon in the back. And I was just running into a bunch of double Charmers, so that's why I switched around and ran this team, is to fight all the double Charmers. But as you can see, I'm not running into any double Charmers. That's okay. This Empoleon versus Shadow Swampert is a bit tricky. I have to call a bait if I want to win this in the 2 shield. So we tank 1 Hydro Cannon. It's a pretty big deal. We're gonna get another shield back on this Hydro Cannon. Because like I said, anything that's going to switch, like if they have a fairy lead, they're going to fight for switch like crazy. So you better be fighting for switch just as bad. I'm going to shield here too. And we're both 2 shields down. But the important thing is that now I have my Venusaur on the Charmer instead. And now I have my Giratina, Giratina. Oh my god, I've been saying it wrong the whole time, haven't I? On this Talonflame, which is a big deal. So obviously I know they're going to go into that Clefable right away. I'm going to switch into Venusaur, and Venusaur is going to be able to take them out. Also, I was mentioning Double Charm. If you are facing a Double Charm team and they swap in a Charmer that is not a Alolan Ninetales, go in with Venusaur. That's the only way you can lose those Double Charm games. So you see not Alolan Ninetales coming, go in with Venusaur, not Empoleon, even if Empoleon has the better matchup. Okay. So in this case, we have a Shadow Machamp lead. Obviously can't have that on Empoleon. It's great for Giratina A. They actually make a great catch onto Galarian Stunfisk, and this is a bit of an interesting swap for me. I honestly think Venusaur is the harder counter to Galarian Stunfisk in Ultra League, but they have Machamp, right? So I'm kind of just getting rid of my Pokemon that is the worst against Machamp. And by getting rid of, I actually don't mean getting rid of at all, because it's still going to be full health pretty much at the end of this matchup. So it's probably going to get farmed by this Machamp. Actually, no, it's not, because I'm going to be able to get to a move to pressure it. It's going to have to throw, and then likely won't have enough for payback for Giratina if it's even running it. So that was my worry, was that if they take me down 2 shields and then they farm and get payback off, I'm going to be in trouble. In this case, we have Berserker in the back, so that's not the Swampert we were looking for. So I do have to stay in for a little bit. My Venusaur can also handle this Machamp. I get really low, so tank that foul play, and then I just need to get to this this Frenzy Plant on Venusaur. I think it should be enough to KO. Oh yeah, look, those foul plays don't really do that much damage. But we're gonna farm up a little bit more on this Berserker. Frenzy doesn't KO either. This is Ultra League. Things are tanky. This Berserker is very low. Once again, maybe it's not even good if my Venusaur survives this. But they switch right away to their Machamp to try and avoid the whole Giratina farm down situation, and I'll get that Frenzy Plant off and be able to take down that Berserker as well. So Venusaur doing a pretty good job countering those Steel types in the back somehow. What can I say? Frenzy Plant is just... Vine with Frenzy Plant is just such a good move combination. This next battle, we have another Giratina lead, but it'll be Shadow Claw. So Dragon Breath versus Shadow Claw. Giratina, this is a little bit, it's a bit closer than you'd think. I always thought Dragon Breath Giratina won this pretty badly, but to be honest, it's pretty close, and I think it depends on how many shields you spend into it. Either way, because you have the higher fast move, like look at that. I only hit a great on that dragon move because the bubbles just fly through your fingers nowadays. Either way, I'm at shields here. I'm gonna get another Dragon Claw off, and they're gonna shield. So guess what? Big surprise, I'm going to shield too. This is all about switch advantage, and because you have the higher damage fast move, you can kind of guarantee it just by spending more shields. And in comes Registeel, so this is not good though. This is probably the worst case scenario here. Registeel in the back with with no shields up, right? So it's able to lock on down my Giratina, and I have to make a big play here, so we're swapping to the Empoleon. Swap right away into the Venusaur and catch a Focus Blast. So that's the only win con here. Unfortunately, obviously Venusaur is not too great against Registeel anyways. And yeah, you're gonna see how much damage these Frenzy Plants do. It's not very much. It's not very much in Ultra League at all. But at this point in time, right, the game is not over. We just have to hope that whatever they have in the back is weak against Empoleon. The problem is they know that I have an Empoleon already, so it is very likely that they wouldn't be playing this out unless they knew that what they had in the back could beat it. And it's also Swampert shields down. Oh, yeah, that's tough. That's tough. This Hydro Cannon does not KO. I really have to hope that they lag for about 6 turns. 7, no, about 8 turns. And we would be able to get that win, but unfortunately the lag gods did not favor us on this day. Nah, you don't want to win by lag anyways. So yeah, well played by them. They got shields down, and that's the point of their team, right? I feel like they want shields down for the ready to go ham at the back in the Swampert. So another Giratina lead, same thing. I'm not going to shield until they do. Most likely they get to the move first, but obviously I'm applying much more pressure. In this case, we have Melmetal. I stay in for a little bit. This is likely a mistake. If I were to get out, I probably should be switching pretty early to Empoleon. So instead, I'm going to tank this move, and then I'm going to get out to Empoleon instead. Yeah, so this is a bit of a tough scenario, right? Because Superpower, while it doesn't KO, it does quite a bit of damage. And I will definitely have to spend a shield to avoid getting KO'd with all this energy. And obviously Giratina is going to come back in. I throw the Hydro Cannon here instead of the Drill Peck because I was trying to bait a Blizzard, and I figured maybe if I could get to multiple more moves, then it would be a good bait because they might still think I have Blizzard. But unfortunately, and maybe they don't know Empoleon can have Blizzard. So instead, I am forced to shield Dragon Claw here to get to a Dragon Claw of my own. Because there's no way Venusaur can deal with Giratina with that much health. So we're going to let our Giratina go down, come with the Venusaur, and just really hope that what they have in the back is a Swampert, and this is not it. This is probably the hardest counter game that I've been a part of in a while. So it is what it is instead. Of course, you're going to lose some of those games. We're still going to end up positive on this set. Oh yeah, the rating was... I mentioned lag earlier. Oh boy, yeah. Thursday and Friday were essentially free fall for me. I took the weekend off, and then this was the result of the starting point. I was able to blast my way up through some sets with these teams, though. We have another Charm lead, so not getting a lot of good leads. And once again, we're going to go in with Empoleon. This matchup is a little tricky. Politoed. I mean, this thing is super spammy, and while it doesn't really have anything that deals with Empoleon well, I'm not going to shield. If they have Earthquake, it's over anyways. If they don't, then I'm not going to shield these Weather Balls. And even though it's hitting me for resisted and I'm hitting it for normal, I'm going down just as fast. Oh no. So in this case, I'm gonna have to let my Empoleon go down. We're gonna come back in with Venusaur to get the farm going. And unfortunately, I'm not able to take it down in time. Yeah, I thought I might want to go for a switch there, but I decided against it because my thought process was that perhaps it was a Swampert in the back, right? Like it's running ABB, right? If they're gonna switch into Politoed, probably a Swampert in the back, right? So at this point, Venusaur can kind of take care of the whole team. And there's a lot of teams. There's a lot of teams in Open that Venusaur can just beat the whole team because nobody's thinking about Venusaur in Open. That's not, you're like, oh, Cress, I gotta worry about Cress. I gotta worry about Giratina. I gotta worry about maybe Talonflame, maybe Obstagoon. No one's like, I gotta worry about Venusaur. I gotta worry about Venusaur in Open Ultra League. So you do have that advantage going for you. And then obviously, Venusaur in the 2 shields versus a Charmer with half health. It's not great, but it's good enough. And it helps that this Venusaur started with a ton of energy. So able to take them down there. I think they saw the writing was on the wall. I think even if they had shielded that Sludge Bomb, it was probably game over anyways. Yeah, Venusaur able to just completely carry me there. Giratina did nothing. Empoleon lost its matchup too. Venusaur did everything. Alright, Umbreon in the lead. We do switch out of this one as well. This is one of the few we do. Empoleon actually beats Umbreon in the 1 shield I found. So this matchup is actually surprisingly good. And I think Venusaur actually beats it too. And this might be fast move denial dependent. But I don't think I've lost to an Umbreon in the 1 shield yet. Or the 0, actually. He might... Oh, they might get to this extra move. But with the 1 shield, the waterfall damage is definitely enough to prevent them. Yeah, so it is very fast move denial dependent. In this case, I'm just going to let my Empoleon go down. It was their lead, right? So, in this case, we don't know what's in the back. So we don't know what we're fighting for switch advantage for. So instead, I'm going to take shield advantage. I really hope they don't have Venusaur counters. So the goal here is to take a couple foul plays on Venusaur, get to 100 energy. I'm going to switch out. I'm banking this. This Venusaur is going to come in handy later. They only have 1 shield. So in comes Cress. You don't often switch your Giratina into an Umbreon, and they probably weren't expecting that play. Because my Giratina is Dragon Breath, right? And I didn't reveal that right at the beginning. We swapped right away. So that's what I was talking about earlier. Don't reveal your move. Don't throw a Dragon Breath and then switch. Just go. So that extra second or so of reaction time where people have to be like, wait, it's Dragon Breath? Or like, wait, I didn't expect him to come back in with Giratina. That allows you to do things sometimes. In this case, I'm not sure it mattered. But I'm going to try and take down this Cresselia without having to throw another move. Mission successful. We'll see what comes back in. It is the Umbreon. We're just going to farm it down. Oh, not quite. Obviously grab shields from me. And in comes Talonflame. So this one is pretty tough. We're going to throw with proper timing here. So they don't get any free incinerates through. Unfortunately, somehow. Yeah, so if you just piggyback like I just did, they're going to have free incinerates. But they're at the move. So I just needed to get my moves off. And my Venusaur has a lot of energy, right? There's a lot of energy. So we're going to come with a Venusaur, throw 1 attack for a Frenzy Plant, which was kind of dumb. Should have just went Brave Bird. And then just throw my Sludge Bomb after that. We didn't need to go for Frenzy Plant because we actually had 2 Sludge Bombs. But a little bit of a mistake on my part. But that's just showing how much, like, it doesn't... Venusaur with energy is just so good. There's only a couple things that completely wall it, and that's like Skarmory, right? So Sludge Bomb still hurts pretty much everything. I guess Giratina also walls it, so it's about getting the Giratina out of the way. In this case, we have Escav lead. Escav is really, really good versus this backline, so we have to stay in. And this is a matchup that obviously Shadow Claw Giratina does way better at. But Dragon Breath does fine too. These counters are double resisted, whereas Dragon Breath's only single. And you're just behind the pace on the Escav, so I probably didn't need to throw there. I probably could have charged up some more, but it doesn't matter too much. In comes the Obstagoon, and we are gonna have to let this Giratina go down. I think they thought they could farm a little bit on this Giratina, but Dragon Breath Giratina puts out a lot of pressure. So they're gonna have to throw right away. They're not gonna be able to farm all the way down like a Shadow Claw. Like the Shadow Claw version, gonna come in with Venusaur, and my Giratina did enough damage that this is just gonna take one Frenzy Plant. That's it, and that's exactly where you want to be with Venusaur. So in this case, just throwing Frenzy Plants, no shielding Night Slashes just in case they get the boost. That's really how you lose nowadays. I'm gonna start shielding because they're starting to shield. And I'm going to get to this Frenzy Plant. I believe I just won CMP versus them. Yeah, so they get pulled into CMP. Going to shield up. And they're going to stay in because they think that, hey, you get to Night Slash in 5, right? Ooh, and the boost. You get to Night Slash in 5. But the third Frenzy Plant is also only 5. And I won CMP last time. I'm not going to lose it this time. And here comes the Swampert. And we're going to switch and catch a move. Which, actually might have been pretty necessary. If they can take out my Venusaur and get to an Earthquake. Oh no, they can't get to an Earthquake before my Hydro Cannon. So I think it was over regardless, but maybe style points. Yeah, we'll say it's style points there. You always want to be doing whatever you can to try and win, and that switch was a no loss situation. There was no like no way I could make the situation worse by making that switch. So this time we have Dragon Breath versus Dragon Breath Giratina in the lead. Giratina, I mean, and we're going to throw the Dragon Claw just right away. I get a free Dragon Breath through there. I'm not sure if they got one through. And they Dragon Claw, but I want switch. So they're going to switch out into Empoleon. You love to see this as Venusaur. If you like, I could have thrown a Frenzy Plant, but it doesn't KO anyways. So now I'm going to throw my Frenzy Plant. They're going to shield. I throw my second Frenzy Plant. And it doesn't quite take them out. So I decided to no shield this, and it's a big blizzard. So yeah, when you're playing Empoleon as well, this is something to keep track of. You also need to keep track of blizzard on your Empoleon, so you can be baiting other Pokemon with it as well, because it is a move that people run on Empoleon in open. It's not just like, oh, there's only these two moves for Empoleon. Drill Peck is chosen in this case because with the rise of XL Pokemon, I've seen more things like Lapras, for example. Not an XL Pokemon, but stuff where Drill Peck is more useful against. Like rise of XL Pokemon, less Giratinas, I believe, is the main thing. In this case, I find out that Empoleon can actually tank a Focus Blast from Registeel, and they get a little bit greedy trying to farm down my Empoleon. I'm gonna get to a second Hydro Cannon, which is gonna allow my Empoleon to take out this Registeel, and we're gonna have enough for Dragon Claw on my Giratina to take out theirs. Whew. Yeah, so in this game, I get Blizzarded on my Venusaur from an Empoleon, and I got Focus Blasted on my Empoleon against a Registeel, and we still win this one. So Nidoqueen lead. This team is pretty decent against Nidoqueen. Venusaur has some issues maybe, but Empoleon wrecks Nidoqueen. Giratina, pretty good against Nidoqueen too. They go into Cress, and guess what? We're going right into Venusaur, because that's the only Pokemon that that loses to Nidoqueen. So now we have two Pokemon that are good against Nidoqueen. Should be pretty solid. I make a pretty dumb play here. I shielded. They did not go up to Future Sight on that one. That was just a Moonblast guaranteed. I definitely don't want to be shielding Moonblast. And there's the lag. I don't know. So this is the kind of lag that is making me exclude sets all the time. I get double Moonblast. What the heck is happening? We're going to have two Moonblasts in a row. First one did no damage, so just a fake Moonblast. They're going to be a third Moonblast. So that's the triple Moonblast before I get to Frenzy Plant. We're just going to tank it. No idea what the counts are anymore in this game when that kind of stuff happens. And still going to be able to win Switch. Nidoqueen comes in, throws a move. Maybe they lag too. They have no idea how many moves I have, because throwing the Poison Fang there, I don't think very smart. But like if they don't know, then they don't know. In this case, going to go with Empoleon. And in comes Lapras. So this is what I was talking about. This is where this Drill Peck really, really pays off. Empoleon is actually tasked to deal with Lapras on this team a lot. You know, it's only shown in this one particular matchup, but in games I've played since then, there's been a lot of Lapras games where my Empoleon has needed to win this particular matchup. So Drill Peck really helps. It really helps, as well as if the opposing Lapras is not running Skull Bash. That makes it a little bit harder for Empoleon. So this Lapras obviously running Ice Beam. They're just going for Surf. They've already spent 2 shields. Like, it looks like they're winning, right? But they've spent 2 shields already. And my Empoleon has spent 0 shields. So that's like how strong this matchup is. I'm gonna finally spend my shield here. But if I just denied one more move, I don't even need a shield to win this in the 0-2. So we're gonna throw that Drill Peck, take it out. Nidoqueen comes in. I make a pretty dumb decision to stay in for a little bit. I'm gonna BM them real hard here. They're gonna throw whatever Earth Power. Timer is going up, so I noticed the timer counting down. We're not gonna hit a single bubble. You know, this is true BM. The game is over. This is Ultra League though, right? Games just take so long. But yeah, so that's it for this set. That was another 5-0. Well, this time it was an actual 5-0. So I've since climbed a decent amount further than that. But that's what it is. In this set we had 12 wins out of 12 out of 14 wins. Not too shabby. I know it was at a bit of a lower rating than usual, guys, but 12 out of 14 anywhere, I feel like it's pretty impressive. So I do think this team has a lot of play. It's been fun experimenting with balanced teams instead of ABB over the last little bit. I do still think ABB is strong. I just think the Pokemon in Ultra League are a little bit too tanky to get away with that kind of gameplay. But yeah, so that is it. This is probably the last Ultra League video I will make though, this season, I guess. Looking forward to Element Cup and Master League next week with the Double Dust or something like that. But as always, I'll put my socials in the description, and thank you guys for watching.